Hi everyone and welcome back to some more Freezing Pulse shenanigans. I didn't think I would do this, but in the last episode one of your comments was, hey, why don't do the power stacking thing and see where that leads us up to. Now, alright then, I have done that and right, let me tell you this. It is for this amount of investment, I think you should go Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice at this point, right? I think my approach would be leveling as an elementalist, right? Get the non-crit version with Ghost Rite going, and I will work on that in the future to make this better. And then once you have accumulated enough currency, switch over into Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. However, we are not sure, obviously, how Whispers of Infinity will behave in the next league, how rare of a drop it will be. This is just something a little bit in the air, honestly. So yeah. Other than that, it is like it's the power charge setup that has been here for a couple of leagues, right? Where you do grab Infused, you grab Instability, and you do grab Overcharge, and then you slap on Malachi's Loop and Rollercare's Impatience with power charges. Very important, right? These are also making you corrupt the blood immune, which is nice. I still like to have the immunity to bleeding and corrupt the bleed during effect on one of my flasks, especially if I'm running around with a mage blood. If you don't have a mage blood, you would actually run the Maven belt, right? Graven's Secret. This would give you another maximum power charge. I feel like 10 power charges is perfectly fine for me. How do I make up for the belt? My Lich Circlet has +1. This is a Drox roll, right? And I did buy this long time ago. Yeah, so these pieces are pulled together from all three characters. So currently only this one is functioning for me, which is fine. The league is pretty much done for me. You saw it here, like I'm down to 9 diff. Yeah, so what else can we do? We can get more tattoos. These cost like 2 diff a pop at the moment, so yeah, that's pretty nasty. The best way to go about getting more out of this would actually be better large cluster jewels. Mine suck. So yeah, that is just something to look out for. I mean, I have Cold to the Core, that's increased damage per dex, strengthened int. There's not really much there, right? And then I have Prismatic Heart, which I thought I would need, or I could make use of to get better res caps going. And yeah, I also had a small cluster with ES lying around that gives me a little bit of fire res and all attributes, and then 70 flat ES and 15 increased ES recharge rate. This would be better in a 3-point cluster, and as I said, the large clusters need to change. Also, Whispers of Doom, this is 3 golden oils, that costs like 1000 chaos only for the anoint, and I had to do this because I'm just 2 skill point starved at the moment. So, defense-wise, yeah, we get 84, 84, 87. We are immune to Chaos. We swap 10% of Fizz over to Chaos. So, basically, we only take 90% of physical damage. Still, we need to work on this. We also really need to work on spell block chance because that will scale our energy shield up further due to the ascendancy that we have chosen. So 1 here is +1 max power charges, so that also makes up for the belt, right? Or it makes up for the helmet if you have the belt. So yeah, it's very convenient to reach 10 power charges with this setup, and also this gives you just like a little bit of power charge duration, which doesn't matter with the setup we are running, and some ES, right? This one is quite cool. While Bastion, this gives you just a flat 100 ES regen, and you cannot be stunned while you have ES, which is very good. And as you can see here, yeah, max ES is increased by chance to block spell damage in specific. Next up, Void Beacon is just -20 cold rest to enemies and basically disables their life regen, so that's really cool, right? That's what Frostbomb was also doing for us, but not at that effectiveness. And then we have just more ES and Comfy Shield, Comfy Frozen, 15% more cold damage. Very good. Very good. So that's the quick and dirty of this. Remember, these jewels and these gear pieces, like this one, is roughly worth over 100 divines right now, so yeah, insane. But since we are using a rune graft of the fortress that reduces our attributes by 10%, we just needed one of those in here. So yeah, as I said, with this investment of gearing, please, for the love of God, go for Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. You will do triple the damage, if not even more. Right, and yeah, it's going to feel much better, believe me. But however, we do more damage than we did before. Yes, that is true. And yeah, we will see how this goes against the Shaper. I haven't tested it, the Elder, sorry. I haven't tested it against the Shaper or the Elder. I have killed Cyrus with it quite easily. So yeah, we will see how the Elder goes. Also, yes, I do have a Bottled Faith. Why do I have that? I dropped this when I was fighting Cortex. Pantheon, I should really switch over. So we are in a boss. So we would take Soul of Solaris, I think. Right, additional Fizz DR if there's only one nearby enemy. However, the thing is, there's also the add phase, right? So for mapping, I would go Lunaris, right? It's just like up to 8% Fizz DR and some movement speed, which can feel nice, especially if you don't have a Mage Blood running. And yeah, we no longer need this, right? We are stun immune, we are not blocking that often, so we don't need the block recovery. We cannot be frozen anyways, and we cannot be chilled, so we don't need the reduced effect of chill. So yeah, that's that. And probably could switch out of Aberrath for bossing especially. Do you know what? We could also take Garukan, so we can't be blinded and can't be maimed. I think that is a setup that I want to test out as well. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I have incorporated cost and damage taken on level 7, linked to a level 9 Immortal Call, just so we can't get chunked down that hard, and we have some Stone Golem and Meat Shield support running. Meat Shield obviously needs to level a little bit, but yeah, the Stone Golem gives us the 20% increased defenses. Remember, Energy Shield counts as defenses, so that's really good. And quickly, to go over this, my Merc has a Perkle's Toe, right? We don't make use of the Discipline Aura, but Purity of Ice is just pretty decently stacking up our Cold Rest to 89%. So that's cool. But yeah, this gives us lucky damage. It's not as effective as it is with like lightning damage that has much bigger spikes in between minimum and maximum damage, right? But it is still a decent amount. And also the Merc has Comb's Binding, which is nearby enemies convert 25% of their fist damage to fire. Really good. So yeah, that's how I have set up. Now, once you go into the instance, you have to click your Bladefall of Trathus once, and then you can go around, and we will get some Soul Eater stacks going, slowly but surely. In the beginning, this is quite slow, so yeah, keep that in mind. Right now that we are stacking it up a little bit better, you can see stuff is happening here, which is good. There we go. I got trapped by that, that's fine. And movement skill wise, I'm using Frostblink of Wintry Blast right now. I've tested multiple movement skills out. The Elder life bar goes into... We cannot see our Soul Eater stacks, but yeah, from the character size you can tell they have been stacked up quite good. There we go. And yeah, basically Bladefall will trigger Temp Chains on the enemy with Hex Touch support. All these 3 skills are on level 1. You can touch up on that in the PoB as well. And yeah, there we go. For bossing, I really do enjoy Bottled Faith, to be honest. And since I had the drop right, I thought I would take it. It was worth like 10 diff when I dropped it, but like, hey, it's all fine. And yeah, I'm not sure if I have stated it, but the league for me is basically done, right? I think I said this already, but that's fine. I had such a good time with experimenting with stuff, and working on Freezing Pulse especially has been a blast, because I figured out a couple of things on my way, right? It's still not in the perfect form or anything like that, right? There's still improvements to be made, However, as I said, you're better off if you invest this much into a build. I think you should play a skill that does way more damage, right? Like Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. And yeah, so let's see how long the Elder takes to die. It shouldn't be too much. Now we obviously have lost our ability. Ow, I did tank that actually, cool. We lost our ability to shock. Right, we don't have the 40% shocks, but like the 30% chills are also very nice, not gonna lie. But that was a pretty decent Elder fight. I'm happy with that. Absolutely decently happy with that. And yeah, 10.2k ES. As I said, this is something that we can work on, so let's just corrupt this. Throw it into King's March then. There we go. You have Uber Elder ready. Cool. Oh, also a 5-way. Nice. And yeah, what I have been doing though is farming 8 mod maps. I got a good amount. Good amount of tunes out of this as well, so that's fine. And yeah, I still have a lot of Guardians to deal with and stuff like that. But as I said, like this is pretty much done for me. And that's fine, right? That's absolutely fine. I was able to test so many things and have fun with so many different builds. Yeah, with Frostblink of Wintry Blast, I actually quite like the mapping experience with this. So yeah, once I go back to different mapping styles, I probably will still take Aberrath just for the unaffected by burning ground modifier, right? If I go after red altars, if I run Maven and stuff, I think then I honestly think can't be blinded, can't be mained is the way I want to move forward. So yeah, let's let's head over into PoB, and here we are. As you can see, that is the skill tree, and yep, we are actually on like 6.8 mil DPS. Personally, we are a bit further than that. We are sitting on 7.2 because we do have Perkle's Toe and Comes Binding. So yeah, I just made a little note here. Just delete the slash in front of these 2 lines, right? And that will enable you to see your lucky damage. And I included, right, I do have Frostblink of Wintry Blast linked to a level 2. This can be level 1, by the way. Calling Strike, right? 10% Calling Strike, which that shoots up your DPS, right? We are on 6.8 mil hit DPS. This is what you normally get without Calling Strike. But once you add in Calling Strike, you're basically nearing 8 mil, just because you'd only need to deal 90% of the boss's health. Our Fizz max hit, I think this is bloated, right? That's a thing that PoB does when you have Immortal Call. And yeah, we're basically at the 14k again. However, the more we scale our ES, the better this one gets, right? So yeah, I'm not sure if this is how this works exactly. Another idea I had was Enduring Cry. We can only get level 19 with my current setup because I'm lacking... No, I'm no longer lacking the strength for this. Oh, okay, we could do like a level 21 of this. And let's enable this, right? This would give us like a decent amount of regen on top. Yeah, very much regen, and also this gets us endurance charges when we do this near a boss, right? So I potentially would invest 1 more skill point into this, and then... Oh yeah, I was testing with this, so the numbers were bloated anyways. But yeah, if you have like 4 endurance charges, very good. So yeah. That's my bad. I shouldn't save it like that. There we go. These are the numbers that we have at the moment. Okay, Freezing Pulse Link wise, we stopped in Awakened, added cold damage on level 5, 20 quality. That is what I had from my totem build, right? This is better than Cold Pen at the moment. And Power Charge and Crit is better than increased critical damage. Why? Well, 40% more damage is absolutely better than just like 100 and something crit multi. At least in the current setup, right? This is the Bladefall of Trathus, Temp Chains, Hex Touch, all level 1. Less duration can be level 20, that's no problem, right? So yeah, that's how you get your Soul Eater stacks in combination with the Coiling Whisper ring. This ring, by the way, there are like corruptions, like the implicit of 23 Chaos Res we do not need, right? Since we are CI, so we could absolutely try to upgrade this with a better corruption. There is like, I think I sold one this league with % strength, % dex, and I'm now regretting that because that could have been an easier way to solve my strength dex requirements on this build, but it's fine, don't worry about it. So yeah, there is definitely corruptions out there. Same goes for like the Whisper's Amulet, the Ralaker's Impatience Boots, and Malakai's Loop. They are all not corrupted in my setup. So yeah, still using the same wand. This is actually a very decent wand. I will just, for comparison, show you a Void Battery. That would give you 1 max power charge, right? But you lose like 300,000 damage. So Void Battery will be good in the beginning until you actually get yourself a wand that is decent, right? This is an okay wand. It's actually one of the better ones that I had over the time so far. Yeah, that's the old cluster jewel. Let's delete that as well, just so the PoB is neat and tidy. Let's check. We don't have any skills left over that are leveling in my offhand and stuff, so that's good. I will leave this in with Enduring Grind Urgent Orders in case you want to experiment with it. For now, I will stay on CWDT, Immortal Coal. That's fine by me. And yeah, obviously I need to level up like Meat Shield, right? That needs to go to 20. Just so they take less damage and they are a bit more safe, right? Cool. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much the thing. Now you will see like this is the same ritual that we had before, right? With basics of pain and like 4 stats. We have Emperor's Mastery here for increased attributes and increased global defenses. That helps us out. We do also have Emperor's Wit. This is another 30% increased global crit strike chance, some % increased int. Also helpful, right? Probably you could swap this out if you wanted to. However, yeah, I just wanted to be crit capped, basically. The large clusters are pretty bad. Like Cold to the Core is a really bad stat for us because we tank our our strength dex and int, right? So I want to swap these out, but these are so expensive to swap out. What you want is Blanketed Snow. If we take a look at large cluster jewels with cold damage, there we go. If you take a look at Blanketed Snow, this is just 10% cold pen against chilled enemies. If we don't chill, our Merc will chill, right? So this can be insanely good. So that is a good one. Then just Blast Freeze, honestly. Just increase cold damage and your freezes spread, which is, it's not bad. Yeah, the best one is definitely Blanketed Snow, though. Prismatic Heart helps you with the resistances, but that's also why I do run around with the good old Purity of Elements. And suffix-wise, there is Disorienting Display. This is actually decent, right? You can blind them on hit, which is not on hit, sorry, you just have a chance to blind nearby enemies when you use an elemental skill, and a little bit of damage, that can be good. Then this doesn't do much for us, right? Don't think we convert our Life Leech over to ES, I need to check that. And this is just some more AoE and increased LE damage, also pretty decent. But yeah, the Blanketed Snow Jewels are insanely expensive, and also Light of Meaning with Energy Shield is insanely expensive, right? But that's probably something that we could do. And yeah, I want to make this very clear though, if you do not have Soul Eater stacks, things get rough. But yeah, in bosses, you do get those pretty quickly, and yeah. Coming back to this, lucky damage. perfectly fine. I will save the PoB though without these checked, so if you have your Merc set up with Perkle's Toe and Combs binding, feel free to delete those slashes in front of these sentences. You can also just put a dot behind this, right? That works as well. I wanted to do it this way, so it's hopefully self-explanatory. Hopefully. Yeah, also we took Solaris for bossing, and we also took was it Garukan? Yes, Garukan as well. So everything's set up here. And yeah, this is the level 97 build, and you can see we leech like almost 1800 ES on hit. We have almost 500 ES regen now, which is very nice. And yeah, I mean, we did go over 10k ES. We need to get more of this going. Let's just say we get another 5 of the ES tattoos. Where would this put us? It's Hinakora Warrior, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.4. It's not that much, actually. So yeah, I think 5 is okay. I know that's 10 divines, but yeah, it's okay. You also, if you go Forbidden Rite, the tree will probably look differently and stuff like that. So yeah, as I said, right? Please, if you want to do this kind of investment, go Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice, please. There's no notes in here, nothing. Good. Okay, I will now export this PoB for you guys and link it in the description. You can take a look at this, but please don't do this. Unless you really want to. But yeah, there we go. There's that. I will actually put it in the PoB link into my notes section here. There we go. Alrighty, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And as always, take care. Bye.